yogis. This particular yoga sequence involves your broom handle. So go find your broom or your mop or whatever it is that you might have, your rake maybe, your something that's got a handle on it, something like this. And then turn off the video, go find your broom handle and come back, because we're going to do some yoga with our broom handles this morning. To begin, I'm turning my back to you, yogis. Oh, and before I do that, let me remember to thank those of you who've given us feedback to tell us how we could do things a little better. For example, we have mapped the contrast with the color of my tights now, so that you can tell the difference between me and the mat. We are no longer one and the same. Here it is. I'm standing in Tadasana. I've turned my back to you. I'm holding my broom handle evenly with the hands turned up toward you. I'm clasping the broom handle and finding my Tadasana. I've separated the feet a little. The thighs have firmed, and now the chest is lifted, and I'm stretching the broom handles down toward the floor, and then slowly I'm taking the broom handle away from the back. I get to a point where I feel a little bit stuck, like I can't go much further. Pause, breathe, relax the shoulders, and take the broom handle a little further back. Pause, breathe, release the shoulders downward away from the earlobes, and take the broom handle back. And then release the effort, and just let the broom handle release toward the floor. The second action, I'm rolling the broom handle up across the bottom tip of the shoulder blades. In this case, I'm pressing the broom handle against the back body so that the bottom tip of the shoulder blades moves into the body. And as I now turn sidewise to you, you can see that the effect of the bottom tip of the shoulder blades moving in is to spread the chest and to spread the collarbones. You might take this moment now to feel which shoulder blade is most firmly on the broom handle. Is there a difference from side to side? If there is, notice that and press the broom handle evenly against the bottom tip of the shoulder blades, and then lift the side ribs, lift the chest. So you can see your broom handle gives you an opening of the chest, which has many, many benefits. I'm releasing the broom handle now and just reminding myself that when I step back to the wall, I can join the feet in Tadasana. Balance is coming. And the touch of the wall behind me reminds me what part of the body is touching the wall, what part of the body is not. So I momentarily bend the knees a little, slide the top of the buttock down the wall, let the wall catch that, and lengthen the lumbar upward. Legs are firm. Broom handle in front of me, it's evenly balanced right side, left side, and I'm just swinging the arms up and toward the wall. My thumbs are turned up so that they'll touch the wall first, if anything does. I hear the gong. Stretch it forward, reach up and back to the wall. Let the thumbs touch the wall evenly. Up and back, gong gong. Up and back. Let the thumbs touch the wall evenly and down. Cling clonk and silence. So in this case, what you're doing is noticing if the shoulders are working evenly. If one hand touches the wall before the other, that means that shoulder may be a little bit freer at swinging the broom handle up. So just notice that. Let the thumbs touch the wall as evenly as possible. And now I'm turning my back to you again. And taking the broom handle, I separate the feet a little. I'm maybe a foot out from the wall. I bend the knees, turn sideways, and then lean against the wall like this.
Here is a tremendous bit of work in the hamstrings. And then I reach the broom handle up to the wall and lift it up the wall. The head slides down the wall, the arms reach up the wall. The wall supports me. I'm not going to tumble forward. I have the wall for that support. And now I lift the broom handle up the wall evenly. To come out, I release the broom handle, turn myself sideways, and come up from the wall from that sideline position. Now we're going to do some standing postures using the broom handle to lift and spread the chest. All of the work you already know about the feet, the legs, the pelvis, all of that you take with you into these postures and add this work with the broom handle. To begin, I take the broom handle again into the crook of the elbows like this. And stepping the feet apart 4 feet, I turn the left heel away from me, just a little, and spin the entire right leg on the heel so that that right foot is parallel with the edge of the mat. The heel in line with the arch of the back foot. I could just stay here. I don't have to go any further as I begin to feel into the back body and the touch of the broom handle and levelize that against the back. But now I feel I could take it the next step from previous work that you've done on these videos to bend the right knee. I cut the shin forward, but draw the quadriceps muscles from the knee to the groins. The shin is cutting forward, the quads are engaged, so the kneecap is floating in front of the knee joint. The broom handle is evenly touching my back body, and now I'm just going to stretch the arms out as if for Virabhadrasana 2, and turn the head to look toward the right side. Here, the broom handle is lifting and spreading the chest, but be careful that you don't take the bottom of the breastbone and jut it forward. Take it instead straight down to the navel. Turn the head forward to come up, straighten the leg. Now let's see how the broom handle can work for Utthita Trikonasana, also on this right side. I lift the chest up. I lift the back body up. The broom handle is in its place, and I'm feeling the touch of the broom handle as I stretch the trunk to the right and slip the tip of the broom handle to the floor. There it is. I know the top arm is not straight, but that's okay. I'm tucking that right buttocks under. I'm tilting taking the bottom of the breastbone to the navel, and then I might just turn the head and look up towards the top edge of the broom handle. And then look down so the neck is neutral and come up. Utthita Parsvakonasana is also a bent knee posture. Bending the knee, the shin cuts forward, the quads pull back. If this isn't familiar to you, in a previous video called How to Work with Knees, you can find this in more detail. The knee is bending. The knee is bending, the toes are lifting, the heel is pressing down, and the head of the femur is descending. On the back leg, the outer heel is pressing down. And now I tilt the broom handle toward the floor and hook the top elbow over the broom handle like this. All I'm doing here is feeling the back body action in these postures. Can I meet the broom handle evenly with the back body? Then, with an inhalation, up we rise. And turning the feet forward, we can release the broom handle momentarily and step the feet together and work with the second side, the left side of the body. Because I'm right-handed, the left side doesn't get as much work as the right side of the body does. It changes the feel of the left side versus the right side of the body. You'll find that too. On your dominant side, if you're right-handed, the right side of the body behaves differently than the left side. It's called the dominance issue, and so when you're doing your postures, if one side is noticeably stiffer, less willing to come into the posture, then you can do the pose twice on that side. Just give it a little more time to absorb the postures. Here we go. Left side, left foot forward. Stepping the feet apart. The feet are parallel. The broom handle comes in its place. And the heel of the right foot moves away. The entire left leg spins from the groins, from the femur head in the hip socket. Spending this moment in this position, feeling the touch of the broom handle, then I'm ready to bend the knee. Cut that right shin forward. Pull the quadriceps back to the groin. Feel the touch of the broom handle evenly, right side body, left side body. Slide the hands out to the extent of your broom handle. Lift the toes of the foot, press the heel down, descend the thigh. Outer right heel, outer little toe side of the foot, right foot down to the floor, and then turn the head and look to the left. Uttita Trikonasana is next. So I straighten the leg by sucking the quadriceps muscles up into the hip socket and tilting to the left. I want to lengthen the left side ribs more and more along the left thigh. I want to tuck that left buttocks under, and at the same time, feel the broom handle touching evenly across the back body. I turn against the touch of the broom handle and look upward. To come out, look down. Then bend the knee a little. Come up. Uttita Parsvakonasana is a bent knee posture. Bend, cut the shin forward, pull the quads into the groins. Release the left thigh bone downward into the bottom of the socket. Tuck that left buttocks under and tilt the broom handle to the floor. The hands might not go to the floor, that's okay. But if it does, all to the good. In any case, keep the broom handle touching the back body, turn the spine, and look upward toward the right hand. Uttita Parsvakonasana. To come out, look down. So the neck is in a neutral position. And push into the feet in dog. Come up and turn the feet and release your broom handle. Now we're going to take the chair. So we're going to set the chair against the wall. We won't need these props at the moment, so we'll just remove them. The chair comes against the wall, and you'll see from the side that the right foot steps up on the chair. Now I'm going to use the wall just for stability here. As I turn to face the chair, the right foot comes up, the right knee over ankle, we know that alignment, and now the left leg is going to hop back. 2 or 3 hops, hopping and hopping and hopping back. You'll see how that back heel is lifted. I'm reaching for the floor, but at the same time allowing the heel to lift. On the back leg, the thigh is turned inward. On the back leg, that buttocks has gone wide. On the front body, the chest is lifting, and the memory of the broom handle is there. So I draw the bottom tip of the shoulder blades into the body, and then squeeze the front knee toward the wall as the back heel reaches back and down. This is a hip opener. You can see how the hips descend, all the while the chest is parallel to the wall. To come out of this posture, we just take hands to the chair, stability, and hop the back foot forward and step the front foot down, and just pause here for a minute and feel the difference between right side and left side, particularly in the hips. Hands to the wall, foot to the chair, hopping back, 1, 2, and 3 hops. back thigh turned inward, right buttocks wide, front knee forward, back heel down. Here we are in this very high lunge. That is a hip opener. The chest is lifting. The memory of the broom handle is there. It takes the bottom tip of the shoulder blades inward and helps to lift and spread the chest as the hips descend more and more and more. To come out, hold the chair, hop, hop, hop forward, and step down. Now, in yoga postures, two terms that we need to distinguish. One is parsva, and it refers to turning the body. The other is parivrtta, and it refers to revolving the body in the opposite direction to what the pelvis and the legs are doing. So now we're going to take what we just did and we're going to parivrtta, or revolve that pose. Take a look. Hands to the wall, right foot up, hopping back, hop, 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 front knee forward, knee over ankle, and now I'm stepping the foot in line with the hip socket. So here's the line I want you to think about, feel in your practice. The line is outer knee, outer hip. If the hip is doing this, it's hiking out to the side. So just gather it in and down like that. And then take the left hand across the wall in line with the right knee and ease that knee forward and lift the chest. Here you're beginning to turn the trunk over the right thigh. The left side of the waist is coming around, the rib cage is coming around, the collarbones are coming around. And as they do, if it's possible to take your hand further down the wall, do that. For some of you, you can clasp the chair and now the arm is coming over the knee. It's pinning the knee in its place. But now I have to feel in the back body for where the dowel was and roll the shoulder blades back over my invisible dowel. To come out, hands forward, foot down, second side, foot up. So now you'll see it from the back body. I've hopped that right foot back. I've taken the left hand in line with the right hand in line with the left knee. I'm tucking the outer left hip in. I walk the hand down the wall to see how I can turn the trunk from right to left. So the abdomen comes around to the left. The side ribs come around to the left. And then I check to see, can I slide my hand down this chair and catch that left knee with the arm? And now lift the chest, roll up and over that invisible dowel. To come out, hands to the wall, stability, and then step down. Now, I've said in previous videos that you can turn the video off and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Because one of the features of Iyengar yoga is a repetition, because the body begins to uncoil and to absorb the posture. I don't do that in these videos because I want you to use the video in a way that suits you by simply giving you a sequence and a little bit of the how-tos with that sequence. And some of you, I know, are chunking the videos. It's so good to hear. You might start with us, and then you do your practice, and then you come back to the end of the video, so you're using it in a way that's useful to you. That's our wish. Watch this. To take the next step, I'm going to take the dowel. My chair has gone away. I've got the dowel, and I'm taking it into the back body as I sit on the mat and extend the heels to the wall. In this case, again, the buttocks flesh is drawn back. So in previous videos, we talked about pulling the rug out from under us by taking the sits bones back, and we literally pulled the blanket this way. So we want to get the sits bones out behind us in Dandasana, and at the same time to roll our broom handle up and to press it against the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Here, the inner heel, the big toe mounds pressing the wall, the thighs pressing the floor, the sits bones pressing down and separating the side ribs up. Dundas. We talked a little bit about parsva and parivrtta. So in this case, when I keep the strength of the back body moving into the body, I can start to turn the dowel a little, just turning a little to the right. I can feel how the left shoulder blade wants to press the dowel, but the right shoulder blade needs to find the dowel and turn a little more. I'm calling it a dowel and a broom handle interchangeably. So, parsva, dandas. See how it is on the other side. Pressing down into the heels, into the thighs, into the sits bones, lifting up through the trunk, return. The left shoulder blade is reluctant. It has to press the dowel. The right shoulder blade has to move away from it. And I start to turn, feeling the dowel starting to come parallel with my mat and back to center. Again, repetition is very useful. I've said in previous videos, you could take one or two poses and make them your entire practice, just by repeating, investigating, learning, and absorbing the postures. From Dandasana, we're going to show one little movement to Parivrtta Trikonasana at the wall. To do this posture, I start by facing the wall and then stepping the feet 4 feet apart. I'm going to turn the right heel away and bring my back to the wall. Here, I'm beginning to align the pelvis straight forward. This right buttocks is going wide. The right heel is stamping down to the floor, and this requires that the back leg lengthens. And now I just slide this right shoulder forward. I'm leaning into the wall, stability. And as I lean into the wall, I start to turn my back to the wall, like this. I'm losing the back heel. I have to come up and press that back heel down and turn my back to the wall. And then, palm to palm, palms to the chest, stepping forward, take the second side. Facing the wall, feet are snapped 4 feet apart, left heel goes away, right foot comes out. I'm close enough to the wall that I'm not fearful that I'll tumble while I'm exploring this new way of working in the body. This back heel has to move up and around and back and down. Left shoulder blade slides on the wall, stability, forward. And as it slides on the wall, I begin to, again, get into that back heel, press it down, and then broaden the arms so that the chest opens. I can feel where the dowel was, the broom handle, and I'm pressing it into the back body and spreading more and more and more and more. To come out, palm to palm, palms to the chest, step forward, and come up. Now, we're going to take this action in the upper back toward preparing for Salamba Sarvangasana, the shoulder balance. There are a couple of cautions I want you to be aware of, if you're not already. We don't go upside down if there is pressure in the eyeball, glaucoma, retinal detachment. We wouldn't go upside down. And likewise, we'd avoid it if we're in a menstrual cycle. Otherwise, this is what you could do and gain the benefits of one of the most important poses in the Iyengar tradition. You'll need your 4 foam blocks, and you set them up like this, flush with the end of your mat, and you take your blanket. And again, I'm just showing one blanket, but if your neck is stiff, it's advisable to take 2 or 3 or 4 blankets, because you want to get on the top of the shoulders, and additional blankets are very helpful if shoulders are stiff. So when you place your blanket, see how it's the rolled edge and how it's flush with the edge of the foam blocks, and then the bottom tip of your mat comes in, and it's placed just like this, thumb distance from the edge. This is the line against which your shoulders will come when you begin to approach the posture. Pull your blanket and foam blocks in against the wall. It's a very narrow little space here. 8 inches, maybe 10 inches, something like that. And then make a loop of your belt, and here is a belt loop, but try it on. Take that belt into the back body and see, here my elbows are so wide from the side body, I know that my belt loop is too big. So I shrug it off, adjust it, and take it again across the elbow joints. And now it's snug. I've got a little leeway here with the elbows against the sides of the rib cage, but I can feel now this belt gathering the elbows toward the side body, so they're not flaring up. I take the belt on one shoulder, on one arm, and then I'm going to come sideways with the pelvis and swing the legs up the wall, like this. I use the forearm for support, and then facing the wall, swing the legs up, and now comes a period of finding the correct use of this platform of support. 1, the neck is supported by the edge of the blankets and the foam block combination. So I feel for that. 2, I feel right, shoulder in line with the mat. That's good. And then I feel for the edges of the platform. Am I too far on one side? I feel like I'm pretty much in the middle, so I don't need to move. But if I'm too far off to one side and my elbow falls off, then I'll lose the base of the pose, this balance and stability. Belt is ready. Now we're not going to full shoulder balance. I'm not turning my head to look at you because we would not turn our head in this position. The neck is not exactly vulnerable, but it's in a position that you could experience some discomfort by rolling your head to the side, so don't do that. Now, feet are going to come to the wall by bending the knees. Knees are bent, feet are separated 8 to 10 inches, and then pushing the feet against the wall, lift the hips. At this point, this is a very important point in the whole launch toward shoulder balance. At this point, sometimes we push ourselves off the platform. But what we really need to do is lift the tailbone up and then watch the shoulder. See how the outer shoulder tucks under. We get this partially by turning the upper arm out and at the same time tucking the shoulder joint under. Now I'm reaching behind me for the belt. There it is. It's on both elbows. Now press the elbows down and lift the tailbone directly up. And just stay. The work here is to lift the top of the buttock up toward the back of the knees and to press the back of the arms down to lift the side body. You could take your hands onto your back. See how the thumbs come to the side ribs and the palms come with fingers toward the spine. Relax the throat, relax the jaw, and work. Push the feet to the wall, lift the tailbone up. Lengthen and firm the buttocks. Relax the throat, relax the eyes, relax the jaw. When you feel that the body is fatiguing and you can't hold the posture, take the belt off one elbow. And if you can't, not to worry, it's not such a big deal. Lower the pelvis to the platform and push with the feet. Pushing, pushing, roll the shoulders, the neck, the head onto the floor, off the platform, and then cross the shins and let the knees drop away. This is a releasing posture because the neck, the upper body, the throat are all on a single level. And so if there was strain introduced in any place in the upper body, it's now released by the balance on the floor. The crossing of the shins helps to release the thighs, the pelvis, the hips. And so before we leave the practice, we cross the shins the other way around so that the release comes on both sides. The arms expand to the side. At this point, you might notice and give awareness to the feeling state of the body after this first, or maybe it's not the first, experience with Salamba Sarvangasana, shoulder balancing. To come out and to prepare for Shavasana, draw the knees together. You can just shrug the belt off completely if you wish at this stage. Roll the hand under the head. You're going to come all the way off the platform, right onto the floor. The knees are drawn up. And then from here, the hand comes down, the shoulders lift, the hands come down, the chest comes up. From here, we're going to Shavasana. And you can take the Shavasana of your choice, always, of course, but you might want, because you've been working on shoulder blades and the upper back, this is a Shavasana that reinforces those movements and actions in the body. And so you could take your 4-foam blocks or whatever you've been able to provide for yourself in terms of yoga props and your blanket, just as something to support the head and the neck. And then approaching the 4-foam blocks, bring the very bottom of the shoulder blades on, push the top of the buttock away, extend the legs together, stretch the heels out, support the base of the skull, tilt the skull, remove the specs, and let the legs release from inside to outside, let the arms release from inside to outside, and let the eyes drop into the body. In Mr. Iyengar's brilliant method, props are used in a variety of ways. Here, the prop is simply reinforcing an action that you developed using your broom handle to ease the shoulder blades into the back body. The props are just reinforcing that. But at the same time, it is Shavasana, and so all of the efforts are released. The legs soften, arms and shoulders soften, inner body relaxes toward the floor, back body relaxes onto the support, and everything in the front body rests onto the back body. The back body is a cushion of support. So everything on the skull and the face rests back. Everything in the chest rests to the back. Everything in the abdomen rests to the back. And everything in the pelvis rests to the back of the pelvis. When you set aside this precious time for Shavasana, if you have a timer or some means of gauging at least 10 minutes, then you could always set your timer. To come out, you'll just let the hands rest somewhere on the front body. And one by one, the knees bend. The pelvis shifts a little to the left. The right hand finds the skull. We come all the way off. And at the time of your choosing now, you might want to stay here for a minute or two, just absorbing the benefits of your practice. But when the time comes to sit, you know the way to come up in a wholesome, healthy way for your back, your mind. And then just take a moment with yourself to sit. This precious moment
is so special because the mind is quieter than when it's engaged in the normal, mundane activities. The body has less tension because of the practice. And so those wonderful illuminations, these sparks of intuition and recognition can come up under these conditions. Quiet mind, peaceful body. I bow to you, yogis. In the traditional way, the palms come together, they radiate away from the heart. I bow to my friend Dory Miller, who has helped unmeasurably to make these videos. I bow to you. I bow to the Iyengar family who developed this brilliant method for mind, body, and spirit. Namaste. Be well.